The biggest thing here to me is that this game was lost in March. This game was lost when the NFL owners refused to ban the tush push from happening. It wasn't lost yesterday. It was lost in March. And there might be a lot of games that the Eagles play that are lost in March because this play is unstoppable. It not only does the defense not know how to handle it, but even the officials don't even know how to handle it. You're seeing the Eagles linemen jump off sides every play, and nothing's called.
It's a false start.
So the officials have no idea. Defenses have no idea, and the Eagles get to do whatever they want on every single play in the tush push. And again, I know people hate it, but they have mastered it. They dominated the line of scrimmage.
Shut up, Brian. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to Brian's World. I am your host, the ambassador of Kansas City, Kansas City's favorite son, Brian B. Shynin. And I am so blessed to have you here with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I know your time is valuable. I'm not going to waste it. And I know and I realize you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Love and appreciate you for that. And shout out to my family at Foolish Club Media. Make sure you rate, subscribe, and review wherever the podcast is available, mainly on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube. And, of course, speaking of YouTube, I know you're probably tapping in on that B Shynin page, man. So why don't you just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, man. Check out every single episode of Brian's World that drops every Wednesday throughout the football season. And, of course, man, you can check out my other content, Hustle and Shine in the Morning from Hot 103 Jams. My mixes, beats, wherever else is going on in Brian's world, I guess. All right, y'all. This weekend in the pod, I'm going to tell you why I am not concerned about the Chiefs. 0-2 be damned. I don't care about none of that. We're going to have a discussion about that and why people should not be pressing the panic button right now. Come on, man. Patrick Mahomes, 30th birthday, September 17th, 1995. A GOAT was born. I'll discuss his legacy, his impact, and other things concerning Patrick Mahomes. The tush push, I want to talk about that for a second too, because I have a lot of thoughts about it, and I think some changes on the way. Also, my favorite football movies, we'll get into that. Of course, you know, B Shynin's bets, made a little money last week, plus a fit check to close things out.
I'll be the first to say this. This game is going to be the reason why the tush push gets banned. It is. Like, yes, do I want the tush push to stay in the game? Yes, but not like this. It's kind of like you want to make money, but you want to do it the legal way. Like, you don't want to do it the not legit way. You want to do it the legal way. Like, do I feel like winning a game when you run the ball, it's 2nd and 4, you run again, it's 3rd and 1. Oh, push, doesn't work. Do it again. Fresh set of downs. Like, no, I would rather a bomb to AJ. He gets tackled at the 1-yard line. Push. Like the Super Bowl. Jahan Dotson, beautiful pass to him. Tackled at the 1-yard line. Push. Like, get it the legal way. Don't be doing this whole rugby stuff, bro.
The Chiefs ain't been 0-2 since 2014. We finished that season 9-7. That was a season where a wide receiver did not catch a touchdown pass for the Chiefs.
Damn.
Then the next year we got Jeremy Maclin. What else happened in 2014? 2014 is a very forgetful year for a lot of reasons, man. But especially for the Chiefs. The only year where we didn't make the playoffs in the Andy Reid era, right? 15, 16, yeah, we done made the playoffs every single year since then. Yeah. Man, I say all that to say it feels different. We haven't felt this in a while. But you look at the Chiefs schedule and, you know, a lot of people predicted us to be 0-2. A lot of people predicted us to have a lot of trouble coming out of the gate. But one thing that I did not predict, or that I don't think anybody could have predicted, is that the Chiefs stars are not shining the brightest. And you look at Mahomes, Bucker, Jones, and Kelsey, who are or once were considered the best players at their positions. You look at Mahomes, I talked about it last week. The D-ball accuracy, I mean, it's not going to get fixed overnight or in 1 week. But you saw him miss Tyquan Thornton a couple of times. Again, eventually got him on the last touchdown that the Chiefs got. But it's still been an issue. You look at Harrison Bucker. Maybe he's been definitely one of the biggest issues this year. One of the more underlying ones. You missed the extra point against the Chargers, which kind of shifts momentum a little bit. It shifts strategy all the way because the Chiefs were kind of chasing points. They had to go for 2, couldn't convert, and now you're down 9 versus the Chargers. So it changes when you're down 2 possessions instead of 1. It just changes your strategy and changes a lot of things. And then you look at Chris Jones last week, taking it inside and not, doing his job and staying to the outside, which eventually cost the Chiefs a game. And then Travis Kelce, of course. Xavier Worthy gets hurt. And then the tip pass against the Eagles that lead to an interception, which is, really a 14-point swing because the Eagles are going to score a touchdown on that. And, the Chiefs could have had a touchdown right there. So that's 14 points right there in the negative. It was backbreaking. It was. There's no other way to put it. And I'm not trying to harp on Travis Kelce because y'all know Kelce is, to me, regarded as top 3, top 4 Chief of all time. Definitely, unequivocally, the best tight end to ever do it. And this is nothing that we need to scream at Kelce about. He knows, he's screaming at himself. We saw him on the sideline getting frustrated in the game. It's been a super disastrous last 2 weeks, and I wonder if Kelce regrets coming back this year. But I was at the game Sunday, and when Kelce had his hands on the ball, when he made those 2 spectacular catches, when he was waving the ball out, those 2 in particular, he looked like he still got it. Like he looked mobile. He looked a little fresh. He looked energized. He looked physical. And it's like it looked like flashes of the old Kelce a little bit. But when you make a mistake, like how he did with dropping that ball and tipping it to the Eagles, I don't know how this could affect him for the rest of the year. Veteran or not, it doesn't matter. When you know that you've cost your team twice, like how he has, that got to weigh on you a little bit. So like I'm just look, and I want to say that I'm not concerned about the Chiefs, but I do think that there are some issues, of course, that we'll address in the pod. But I think if you take away those 2 things with the Chiefs, with Travis Kelce, you take away the fact that Xavier Worthy was not out versus the Chargers, I think it changes the game plan and it changes how the Chiefs come out in that game. Perhaps they win. But we know for damn sure, and I believe that if Kelce doesn't make the mistake against the Eagles, I think the Chiefs definitely go on to win that game. So it's just these little things are causing big mistakes in these games. And it's costing the Chiefs this year as opposed to in previous years when the Chiefs probably would have won that type of game like that. Because they don't make those mistakes. They don't charger the game away. But that's why I'm not concerned. Yes, there are issues, but I'm not concerned because these things are fixable. Just like how last week I talked about how the defense was running into each other against the Chargers. You saw a lot of miscues, and how I wasn't concerned on that end. And you saw that the defense came out on fire this week. But I think one of the biggest issues, and I'll be lying if I said that there wasn't some big issues. But I think the biggest one is the damn running game. It is of the biggest concern on this team, because I don't see a fix on the roster right now. And I don't know what Veach is going to do about this. Are we going to have to dip in the pool of trade picks, and try and move some of that and get somebody up in here? I don't know, man. But something has to be done immediately. Because for Patrick Mahomes to be the leading rusher after 2 weeks, and that's not even the way our offense is designed, it's a big problem. We leaning on Kareem Hunt way too much. I was under the impression that Kareem Hunt was battling for his job. I didn't know that he was going to be not the starting running back, but the main, cowbell. Because Pacheco, I love Pacheco, man, but it's something's changed. I don't see the explosiveness, I guess, from Pacheco that we saw from previous years. But what were the Chiefs banking on? So much so that they didn't go after anybody hard in free agency, anybody big, anybody of note or of name. They got Elijah Mitchell here, but he can't sniff the field. You draft Bashar Smith in the 7th round, but that's not a major investment in a running back. The Chiefs have yet to do that, and should they be criticized and not being more diligent in searching for a running back in free agency or the draft? Before the season, I like the running back room, and I still think there's some juice there, and I think that there's still some problems with the O-line too. But for now, I'm looking like I was wrong on the running back room. It's a major weakness and a big concern. And man, oh man, if only we had Eric Bieniemy on that sideline to straighten this out, because the running game was never a problem under him. The problem was Andy Reid not calling the running plays, or whoever the OC was. Well, we all know Andy Reid, he calls the plays. He runs the ship on that offense. We know that. But there is some influence, though, that your coaches have. And I know Eric Bieniemy has some sort of influence in that offensive staff. I just wonder if Veach is on the phone right now, talking with somebody, looking for somebody. Because I do wonder, what would a Breece Hall do in this offense? What would, and not saying that the Chiefs are going after him, or I'm just saying a dynamic-ass running back. What would he do in this offense? We kind of saw it with Jamal Charles in 2013, long time ago. But I was trying to think of who was the last dynamic, big name running back we had. And I think Jamal's is probably the last one. And I remember the game in Oakland in 2013. He had 5 touchdowns on screens. So all of them went screens. But he had 5 touchdowns that day. Big fantasy day for Jamal Charles back then. But I do wonder if Veach is on the phone trying to get something done, trying to get a running back in here. Or Tyreek Hill, is that a thing? I don't think so. I don't think that's realistic at all. Money's too tight around here. Plus, when Rice and Worthy get back, and Royals, there's no room for him, for Tyreek Hill. So, you probably could spend your assets a little wiser somewhere else, like running back. Everybody's talking about Tyreek Hill. Pro Football Talk, they're trying to build some smoke there. I don't think it's realistic. And to top it off, what number would he wear? Pacheco ain't giving up that 10. Do the Chiefs? I don't think the Chiefs hand out 0. I don't know. 81. Like I said last week, go with 81, the original Tyreek Hill number. Get that 81 back from Remigio. There was something important in the game that I saw with my own two eyes that I hope you all didn't miss. I'm sure you didn't. Josh Simmons was out for a period of time. I want to say for a drive or for a series at left tackle. And good old number 77, Jalen Moore, stepped in. Did y'all see what I saw with Jalen Moore? Now, on one of the plays, a sack was given up. That was not his fault. If you go back and look, pressure came from the right side. But Jalen Moore looked aggressive. He looked like he had some punch. He had some power. He looked fast. He just looked aggressive. And I think we already know that our right tackle for 2026 is already on the roster, and he ain't wearing number 74. But I saw that. And we don't even know why Josh Simmons was out. I still don't know why he was out that series. But I just wonder if Jawan Taylor is on a short leash. And I wonder how thin is the ice that he's walking on right now. Jalen Moore looks, just from the few plays that I saw, he already looks better than Jawan Taylor. And I'm halfway going out on a limb with that, which I'm fine with, but at least you won't have any more damn penalties. Because not only is he getting false start penalties, but now you're getting holding penalties. And you're giving up sacks. Just pay attention, y'all, to 77 Jalen Moore. And when he comes in and solidifies this offensive line, I'm on your next too. For everybody who criticized the Chiefs for overpaying a swing tackle, I'm on your ass. Speaking of tackles, how about Josh Simmons again, hawking down that eagle to get that tackle? That was a touchdown saving tackle. Man, they said he was running over 18 miles per hour.
Whoa, brother, whoa, now.
I've never seen an offensive lineman run that fast. Never in my life.
This is a sick Negro.
Just go back and look at you see that 71 flying down. Like I saw somebody tackle the eagle and make the touchdown saving tackle. I had no clue that was Josh Simmons who did that. I had no clue. I looked at that game on TV. We got us a left tackle, y'all. And if there was any concern about his knee or his injury, you can forget about it. He looks good. And he looks good on the line, too. The defense, man, looked like a totally different defense than from last week. From the Eagles' first offensive snap, they came with the energy. They came with the juice. They raised their intensity, and they brought the punch. I don't see any reason why that defense shouldn't come out like that, like gangbusters, every single game. It was exciting watching that defense work. Did they give up a couple plays here and there? Yes, they did. Except for that air balloon that, Trent McDuffie got caught on one-on-one with Devontae Smith when Jalen Hurts hit him on the right side. The defense caught a bunch of tough breaks, man, but they played their asses off. They came out with it, man. But that's the juice and energy that we're going to need every single week, man. People are always going to bring their A game because we are the Chiefs. I don't give a damn what everybody's talking about, what they're saying with the Eagles and all this other stuff. Look, man, we are still the Chiefs, and people are still going to look at us and bring their A game every single week. So we have to punch first. Whether we get the ball or we play on defense, we got to punch them in the mouth first, man. It makes a big difference. And, some guys on the defense that I told y'all, man, this draft class is looking good. Omar Norman Lott got him a little sack. Got Big Mac sacks for everybody. And he looks just like Treshaun Wharton. They look like the same exact player. He has a lot of potential, though, man. He's tenacious and violent. And with his size, with his strength, pound for pound, that's kind of what you want from that nose D tackle, man. So Omar Norman Lott, man, we got to see more playing time with him. Less Derek Nottie, less Jerry Tillery, more Omar Norman Lott. although I know like he has his role and he has his situations where he specifically comes in and what they specifically drafted him for. I get it. I know. I'm a big fan of his, man. I really am. But how do the Chiefs deal with this adversity so early in the season? The last time the Chiefs have dealt with, the 0-2 was 2014, but you remember the 2021 Chiefs, I believe they were 3-4 at one point. And, although most of those guys are not on this team, I just want to see how this team deals with this set of circumstances with adversity.
I think we're coming together as a team, man. I mean, when you deal with adversity, it's about how you deal with it. And obviously, this isn't how we wanted to start, but how are we going to respond? So I'm excited for the next few weeks to see who wants to be challenged and how we can get back and really get after it.
Because when you get in situations like this, your locker room can be very fractured, and they could really divide your team a little bit. Some people can start playing for themselves. Some guys think that, they'll start planning for next season or whatever. Like, it could get ugly quick. Don't anticipate that at all with this team. I don't. I am under the belief that they are going to get it together mighty quickly. I mean, and look, man, let's add some perspective to this. The Chiefs are a bounce here or there, a few plays here or there in each of these games from being 2-0, at worst 1-1. We played 2 Super Bowl contenders. At least that's what they were saying. At least that's what y'all was saying before the season was starting. Everybody, saying that the Eagles could go back-to-back. Everybody's putting the Chargers above the Chiefs. Okay, fine. Whoop-de-doo. Here's another thing. Fine. It's an NFC loss. We're 2 back of the Chargers in the AFC West. Everything's fine, y'all. The AFC West, everybody's going to beat up on each other. Don't think that the Chargers are going to get away and skate away just because they're 2-0 in the division. They still got to see Denver. They got to see us again. And I think eventually everybody in the West is going to beat each other up. So y'all put your panic buttons away. Put them away, y'all. Everything is going to be okay. I promise you it is. Because reinforcements are going to be on the way. Other teams are healthier than the Chiefs. Some teams are still playing at full strength. But when we get to full strength, because we have not even seen the 2025 Chiefs yet. We haven't. We didn't see the 2024 Chiefs for real. We have not seen Brown, Worthy, and Rice on the same field at the same time. So when that happens, you'll see a difference in the offense. But reinforcements are on the way, and ultimately I'm not, and that's why I'm not worried. Do they push Xavier Worthy to play this week? I think they might against the Giants. So, at least we're not the Bengals. Imagine if you're the Bengals. Would you rather be the Chiefs or the Bengals right now? Yeah, we might be 0-2, but yes, okay, fine. We lost to the Chargers and Eagles. But would you rather have 2 wins against the Browns and the Jaguars, 2 games that you just barely won, and your quarterback is hurt? Just give the Chiefs a few weeks, and you'll be right back on their coattails. Because there's plenty of room on the bandwagon right now because hella people are jumping off. Just take note of who's staying on.